Hello, fuckos, and welcome to this episode 46 of the Chris Hunter Comedy Podcast with me, Chris Hunter. Hello, how are you doing? Are you well? I hope you're well. Am I? Sorry I wasn't here last week, folks. I'll explain why in a little bit, but for now, I want to welcome you to my last podcast as a 30-year-old. That is correct, folks. I am going to be aging, as humans tend to, on Saturday. I'm going to be 31, baby. I don't feel as weird about this birthday as I did for the last one because, you know, when you go from 29 to 30, that shit's scary. Like, it happened with me where I got to 29 and I was about to turn 30 and I thought, shit, what have I done in my 20s? And, you know, the answer's not nothing. You know, I've done some pretty cool things. I got my dream job. I got a house, you know, all the good stuff. But, you know, went to Japan. What, did I go to Japan? I don't know. Went on holiday. But yeah, you know, I achieved some cool things that I was quite happy about. But then, you know, you just think that is a whole decade of my life just gone. And it felt like it was going to be around forever, you know. And now that I'm turning 31, I don't really care because, you know, I'm in that sweet spot of being at the beginning of a decade. So now this decade will last forever because it's like 9 whole years, you know. I'm hoping it'll be a good one. I feel like the 30s is the decade where people who are driven get what they were aiming for. I feel like the 30s is a good spot to do that, you know. You look at some of the world's best comedians, they all hit that sweet spot in their 30s. You look at some of the best entrepreneurs, and they all start their like 5th business by their 30s, but they've had enough failures to make sure it's a good business. So, you know, there's room for potential is what I'm saying. So, you know, anybody else out there, sorry, I've got a cloggy throat, just had my tea, I crammed it right down my throat and it's all cloggy. Yeah, if there's anybody else out there who's about to turn 30, hey, don't worry about it, it's fine. Life's gonna be good to y'all if you're good to it. Although I'm gonna be 31, as I say, not 30. So this is my last one as a 30-year-old. And you know what? I just realised I've waffled for almost 2 entire minutes about being 30, and you guys are like, we get it, love. You're going to be a bit older. Fucking shut up. Okay, I'll shut up. I'll move on to my escapade, shall I? So, yeah, I did a bit of an oopsie yesterday. I bought some sweets from Aldi on my lunch, which isn't the oopsie. Aldi's great. They were sugar-free sweets. Sweets are no sin. And they were good. They were like little foam jelly squishy things, you know, and they were nice. They were fruity. They had no artificial shite in them, so they weren't good for you at all. But they weren't as bad for you as sweets normally tend to be. You know what I mean? And I thought that's cool. And I saw on the back it says, "Caution: excessive consumption may cause laxative effect." And I thought, okay, cool, that's fine. Excessive consumption is eating 2 or 3 bags. Not a problem. This bag isn't resealable, so this bag is a portion. That's how my brain worked. That's how I looked at it. And I was like, you know what? Nom, 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 nom. They were good. They were really nice. And then about, I don't know, half an hour later, an hour later, I start getting this pain in my stomach. I'm going, oh, Jesus. This ain't good. And of course, the inevitable happens. Things aren't great. But I wish it would have been a case of, you know, go for one visit, blast everything, and come back. I wish that was the case. But instead, it was more of a pain, just in pain for a long time, for the whole day and part of the night. So that was fun, you know, giving yourself a full-on laxative effect from sweeties. But that's what you get for being a greedy adult, you know. You can't just be like, I want this for my lunch. Now, to be fair, it's kind of like a karma thing because I'm supposed to be eating better. And even though they're sugar-free, that is not eating better. So, slap on the wrist for me. You ready for the sound? There we go, slap on the wrist. Yeah, but speaking of eating better, I have been eating better. I can't remember if I went over this last podcast, but I've been trying to eat healthier. I've been cooking at home, cooking better, trying to cook nice stuff. So, I think last time I spoke about making tacos, I made tacos. I've been making like vegan wraps and all sorts of stuff like that. Made a couple of Japanese dishes, which I was quite happy with actually. They went pretty well. Excuse me, I've got hiccups now because I've just wolfed down my tea and I've run upstairs to the podcast and I ate it so quick. I've got hiccups. Yeah, so I've been enjoying cooking stuff, you know, and it means that the kitchen smells nice because I'm using special herbs and such. I've been cooking like Mexican black bean wraps and stuff like that, which they were really nice. I use these, Tesco have got these like chicken style pieces, they call them. So it's like basically cubes of tofu or some shit. I don't know what's in them, but they ain't no chicken. But they're nice, you just fry them up a little bit for 5 minutes and boom, tasty AF. So I had some of that, mix it in with some black beans, chopped up some onion, that goes in there, a bit of chopped tomato. What else is in that shit? Paprika, oregano, and a little bit of cumin, which sounds like cumin if you're childish like me. So yeah, all that was so tasty. I enjoyed it. I served it with a bit of rice, bit of corn on the side. Not corn, the rock band, that'd be cool, but no, sweet corn. And yeah, it's been good. I've been enjoying experimenting with bits and bobs, trying to make things that taste nice and don't kill me in the process. And it's been a bit hit and miss. Sometimes I do fully goof it up. I'm like, this wasn't great. I apologise. But to be fair, most of the time, I think it's been pretty good. Pretty solid hits. So if you guys have got any recipes or any shit like that for healthier food that I can have during the week. Because on Saturday, remember guys, Saturday is my day off from eating healthy. Saturday is a balls to the wall. Let's go get burgers and desserts from our favourite people. And then, that's Saturdays. But the weekdays and Sunday, we're going to be good. Otherwise, I'm going to die in my 30s. And I don't want to die in my 30s. So that's not what I plan to do. So yeah, eating healthy is going okay. I'm happy enough with that. But speaking of healthy and stuff like that, I do a gaming channel as well as this stuff. LPG Tube, me and Charlie. We both go on Twitch and we stream stuff, or we do videos on YouTube and whatnot. But recently, since getting back from holiday, we've just not been arsed. I've been busy as well, really busy. And this year I'm going to be busier than normal, so that doesn't help. So my focus and my attention should be on my work. Getting ready, improving as an artist, learning Japanese, all this stuff, getting ready for next year, the big move. And we've had a bit of a lack of passion recently. So I thought, I think it's time we put the channel on hiatus for a little bit. It doesn't mean it's finished. It doesn't mean it's over. It just means for now, we're not going to stick to a scheduled streaming schedule. Jeb end, you know what I mean? So I figured that would make more sense. Well, I never want to be the kind of person that goes and does a half-assed anything for someone. When you're streaming to people, you've got your own little community. You're doing a little performance for them by playing the games and reacting and whatnot. And I don't want to be half-assed, I'd rather give them the full thing. And at the moment, I'm just not in the mood to do the full thing, and I'm busy. So it's I've got it on my mind already that I should be spending this time working, or I should spend this time doing some Japanese homework or something like that. And so when you've got that kind of thing niggling away, just niggling away at the back of your head, you just can't focus on trying to entertain people. You know what I mean? It doesn't work well for the medium. That'd be having a massive row with the missus and then going doing a stand-up gig. The back of your head the whole time, you're going to have this built-in anger or whatever it is that you've got, and it's going to distract you from what you need to do. It's like right now, for example, I'm thinking, I'm full. That was a lot of food, so I'm a bit distracted. But that's fine, So yeah, the channel is temporarily on hiatus. It probably won't be permanent. It'll just be for now until we can get things back on track. Maybe figure out some kind of new schedule. I don't know what's going to happen yet. But yeah, so I wasn't on last week. You guys remember? Reason being, unfortunately, we had to put down Charlie's dog, Akira. So I'm not going to talk about it too much because I tend to get a bit emotional when I do. Which, mock me if you want. I don't give a fuck. I love that dog. So yeah, she was 16, and she was meant to die when she was 14. I say meant to die. Her life expectancy was 12 to 14, and she made it to 16. And she just, she got on too much. She had to be put down, unfortunately. But it meant that everybody was crushed. It's really hard for everyone, especially Charlie and her dad, because it was like a companion dog for a dad almost, And for Charlie, I think I felt really bad because quite often if I left her alone for a while, she'd start thinking about stuff and start crying, and I can't do that, so I thought it wasn't right to do a podcast. Plus, like I was saying about force and stuff, if you're not in the mood, if you're not happy, then you can't just you can't do a comedy podcast when you're feeling sad and broken up and stuff. So that's why I wasn't here last week. So I apologise for that, folks. I'm sure you understand. I'm sure you've all had pets and lost them and whatnot. If you've got any stories about your pets that you want to send in, let me know. I'd love to read out some happy pet stories on the Owl podcast. I'd love to start having more interaction with you folks, actually. You know, if you ever want to write anything in, whatever, it can be whatever you want. Stories about your day, problems that you're having, your favourite colour, whatever you want. Just send me some kind of messages. I'll gladly talk about them on this here podcast. English, you nut job. I'm quite happy right now because I'm actually in a good mood today. Well, I say I'm in a good mood today. I'm in a good mood now. For some reason, I woke up in a foul mood. Have you ever done that where you wake up and you feel tired and just grumpy? Like, it's weird. I had more sleep than I normally do last night. I fell asleep, I don't know, 11:30 maybe? Like, really early for me. Because I normally go to sleep about 2. And I'll get up at 10 to 7. And last night, I fell asleep about 11:30. And I woke up this morning and I was still knackered and just in a foul mood. So, I feel bad for anybody I was driving past because I was driving safely, obviously, but I was just effing and jeffing at the slightest thing. Everybody was out to annoy me this morning. It was one of those drives, like, one of them. And it was hailing and cold when we got to the car this morning. And, I hate dealing with the cold at the best of times, but when you're tired and you're grumpy, the cold is the last thing that you want to be dealing with. It's the last thing you want to see. I mean, I'm not saying I like it when it's sunny. I don't like it when it's sunny because I don't like the sun. I sound like a right idiot. I don't like direct sunlight is what I should say. I'm not a fan. Okay, I don't like being hot. I don't like being cold. I like just being comfy. So that's why whenever I get home, it's straight to the pajamas and the comfy fleece housecoat. That is me. Right now, I'm wearing that stuff. I got home. I was like, boom, it's Jimmy time. I'm home. Get 'em on. So that's what I did. And yeah, it's nice. I've said like 4,000 times today. I can only apologise, folks, because is the idiot's way of stalling whilst your brain says, what are you trying to say? It's like some people go, fucking... Bleh. So, whatever. I say that's my version of it. But yeah, so I've been keeping busy. I've been tackling my Japanese again, which is nice. I've been trying to get back to it. I told you guys I bought some... What are they called? Online training courses for Japanese a while ago, and I think it was a Christmas sale or the January sale. Anyway, they're good. I've been enjoying it. It's quite intense though. It's more intense than I expected, but that's fine. It's a good thing to do because I think if I dive into it, I'm bound to get better. If what am I trying to say? If I dive into it, I think it's kind of like when you swim. Not when you swim. What am I trying to say? God damn it! If I hit it full force, there's kind of no going back, I think that's the way of doing it. Like, say it's like I got told to go into a boxing ring, and I can't leave the boxing ring until one of us is knocked out. So I might as well go in swinging, rather than just take it to the face and accept defeat. I ain't never going to accept defeat. Defeat ain't never going to get me. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. My God. I told you, I'm tired and grumpy. Apparently it's come on back. But what can you do? What can you do, folks? Have any of you guys got any suggestions as to what to do on days when you just wake up tired and grumpy? Because I don't know. I told you that my projector lamp has had an error. I need to send it off to get fixed. I still haven't because every time we go to, I get distracted. I forget to do it. And that's just how it is with me sometimes. Unfortunately, I just forget stuff so easily. It's annoying as hell. I want to remember stuff a lot more often. Which would be nice, I think we'd all like to remember things more often. But, I've been watching, I told you about Terrace House a while ago. It's kind of like a Japanese Big Brother type thing. I don't know. It's on Netflix. You should all watch it. Terrace House. I suggest starting with Terrace House. Oh, what's that one called? Oh my God, what's that season called? Opening New Doors. That's it. Terrace House, Opening New Doors. That's the first one I watched. And I've been watching it with Charlie because I wanted her to watch it for ages because I knew she'd like it. And we finally watched it together. And we've now fully caught up and started a different season whilst we wait for that rest of that season to come out. Because Netflix, it's currently on air in Japan. So Netflix are releasing it in chunks, you see. We get it in a chunk 70 days after the last episode of that chunk comes out in Japan. So whilst we wait for that, we've started one of the older seasons called Aloha State, which is set in Hawaii. It's kind of interesting because some of the people in the house at the moment are half Japanese. And they know some English. So it's really weird to see people just talking away in Japanese with subtitles. And then for some reason out of nowhere, they'll start using English. And I'm thinking, how do you know when to use that and when not to use that? It makes no sense to me that you can just start a sentence and then in the middle of it, just boom, whack in some English, boom, back to Japanese. And no one bats an eyelid. They're not like, what the fuck did you just do there? No, it makes no sense to me. But it's good though, it's cool, it's interesting to watch. And I kind of like it because you get to hear like proper casual Japanese, just, back and forth stuff. None of this, like some of the stuff that you learn in textbooks is proper, like meeting the emperor level polite. Oh, I've got the hiccups again. Every damn podcast I get the hiccups. But yeah, so we've been watching Aloha State, and this one's set in Hawaii, and it's a pretty nice place, I don't know if anybody's ever had the opinion of Hawaii being a nice place, but I think it is. No, I know it's fucking gorgeous, but I've never really, I don't know, I've not seen much of Hawaii, you know what I mean? Like, to me, in my head, Hawaii is basically a beach and some huts, and then, I don't know, there's probably somebody living there. But no, it's a full-on cities and shit, and it sounds stupid to say that, but yeah, there's loads of stuff going on in Hawaii. There's coffee shops and pizza places. The whole thing is there. The whole shebang is there, is what I'm trying to tell you. But yeah, you should all go watch Terrace House. I really enjoy that. And I've also started sketching again recently. I say started again because I every now and again I think to myself, oh, I really should get better at drawing. And I'll pick up a pencil and I'll draw something and it'll be bad. And I'll put myself down like, oh, I'm shit at drawing. And I'll just stop. And that's not how you get better, is it, folks? Come on, we all know this. You never improve by stopping. The only way to guarantee failure is by not trying. And that's what I should remind myself of every fucking day. Because every day now, I need to pick up... Right, next to me where I sit in the living room, I've now got my sketchbook, I've got my Japanese homework, and I've got a colour and light theory book that I should read, because I want to improve as an artist. The only way to do that is to understand the fundamentals properly. So I'm reading through that, I'm doing some sketches, I'm doing some Japanese whenever I get spare time. So if I think to myself, oh, I'm going to look at my phone, I'm going to look at Facebook, I'm trying to mentally switch that off and instead turn to my right. It's right there. Just turn to my right and pick up my book or my sketchbook or my Japanese homework and just do some of it, Try and improve as a person. So this year, the year of 2019, our Lord 2019, whoa, and as I said that, it's 2019 on my clock. That is creepy as shit. Anyway, this year is the year I feel confident in my own abilities. I never do. I've always had this problem, self-confidence issues. You may have noticed from the podcast. But yeah, I've always had this issue of not feeling like I'm strong enough at what I do. I'm one of these people who don't feel like I deserve what I have. Profession-wise and stuff like that. So I need to knock that on the head. I know I deserve it. That's why I've got it. So this year I need to be good enough to stand up to my own standards of me, if that makes any kind of sense. I'm going to put more stuff online. I'm going to try and make sure it's the best it can possibly be. So that means focus. So that's another reason for stopping the game stuff for now. It's a reason I'm not doing stand-up gigs this year, most likely. I've got to focus. I love doing this podcast. I'll keep doing this. This is fine. This doesn't take that much time. And it's nice to have like a little verbal diary, even if nobody listens to it. It's nice for me to have something to listen back to in the future. Every now and again, I do listen to them. Not all of them, obviously. Like, if I'm in work, I'm like, I wonder what I said in the podcast like 6 months ago. And I'll go and put one of them on. And I'll think, oh, Jesus, this guy is bad at podcasting. But, this is another thing I can improve on. I'll always improve when it comes to your guys' feedback. If you ever give me feedback, I'll try and listen to it and I'll try and improve on it. But yeah, so let me see. I think that's pretty much us for this week, guys. If you have any questions or any stories you want to share with me, I really would appreciate it if you send them to me on, let me see, I'm on Facebook, I'm on Twitter, I'm on Instagram, I'm on YouTube. So it's Twitter is at ChrisHunterCom, which is short for comedy. Facebook is Chris Hunter Comedy, same as Instagram, and YouTube also the Chris Hunter Comedy Podcast. They're all on all of them things. Japanese word of the week. Shit, I keep forgetting to bloody prepare these. Japanese. Okay, yokai. Let's go with yokai. Yokai is like a Japanese spirit, like the Japanese ghosts. So yeah, yokai. There you go. So have a lovely week, folks. I'll see you all next week. Yeah. Bye-bye now.